Why is it that you can navigate a high-stakes negotiation at 10 a.m., but by 7 p.m., you are mentally paralyzed by the choice between two brands of toothpaste? Why does picking a Netflix show feel more exhausting than your actual 9-to-5 job? Have you felt that heavy, suffocating fog settle in your skull as you stare at your bills, unable to make a single move to fix them? I'm Philly. Your bank account isn't empty because you lack willpower. It's empty because your brain is running out of gas before you even get home to make the choices that matter. I perform surgery on the mental burnout siphoning your wealth. If you're tired of being a passenger in a life driven by your own exhausted biology, pay attention. We are debugging the decision fatigue stealing your future and dismantling the invisible psychology of the rat race. Let's get to work. Imagine your brain is a high-performance smartphone. Every morning you unplug it with a 100% charge. This charge is your executive function, the ability to say no, the ability to plan, and the ability to build a money mindset. But here is the glitch that creates wage slavery. Every single choice you make, no matter how small, is a parasitic drain on that battery. Choosing your clothes? -2%. Choosing which email to ignore? -3%. Deciding what to say to your boss? -5%. By 4 p.m., your mental battery is at 12%. This is where behavioral finance becomes a horror movie. In clinical psychology, we call this ego depletion. Your willpower is not a muscle you can just flex harder. It is a finite chemical resource in your prefrontal cortex. When that resource is gone, the guard of your long-term interests falls asleep at the post. When the guard is asleep, your impulse brain takes the keys. This is why you spend $40 on takeout you don't even like. This is why you click Buy Now on a subscription you'll never use. You aren't making a choice, you are experiencing a biological collapse. The rat race relies on this collapse. The modern economy is a giant vacuum designed to wait until your battery is low to present you with its most expensive traps. This is the foundation of modern slavery, keeping you so mentally exhausted by trivialities that you have no energy left to plan your escape from wage slavery. Have you felt this? That "I just can't deal with this right now" feeling when you look at your credit card statement or an investment opportunity? Tell me in the comments, what is the one financial task you've been putting off for months simply because you are too tired to think about it? Let's talk about that weight in the comments. Stick with me, because in the next segment, I'm going to show you the default option trick that the 1% use to automate their wealth while you're busy choosing between generic and name brand pasta. But first, we need to perform surgery on why your hustle is actually making you poorer. Let's perform a case study on a version of me. A few years ago, I was the ultimate hustler. I worked 14-hour days thinking I was a warrior. I was making more money than ever, but I was mentally bankrupt. My battery was permanently in the red. One Tuesday evening, after a grueling 12-hour shift of back-to-back decisions, I walked into a luxury car dealership. I didn't need a car. My old one was fine, but I was decision depleted. A salesperson, trained in the psychology of money, didn't talk to me about interest rates or long-term value. He talked to me about comfort and convenience. He gave me a simple yes or no choice. My brain was too tired to calculate the career psychology of what I was doing. I signed a 4-year lease for a $60,000 SUV that siphoned $900 out of my pocket every single month. At that moment, I wasn't buying a vehicle. I was buying an end to the decision-making process. I wanted the pain of choice to stop, so I traded $40,000 of my future freedom for a signature on a dotted line. I woke up the next morning with a financial hangover, but the contract was signed. This is how modern slavery works in 2025. They don't wait for you to be stupid. They wait for you to be exhausted. They place the candy bars at the checkout line and the pre-approved high-interest loans at the end of a long digital application process. They know your guard is asleep. They know your behavioral finance defenses are down. Are you currently Philly? Are you making massive financial commitments in the evening because you're too tired to say no? Have you noticed how every major sale or limited time offer seems to pop up when your brain is at its weakest? But it gets deeper. What if I told you that decision fatigue is the reason you can't save even when you get a raise? There's a psychological leak that happens when your brain is tired, and it's called decision avoidance. We are diving into that black hole in exactly 60 seconds. The gurus tell you to just focus and have more discipline. They tell you that wealth is a mindset. That is a lie. Wealth is a biological capacity. You cannot mindset your way out of a depleted prefrontal cortex any more than you can mindset your way through a marathon without water. When you're suffering from decision fatigue, your brain shifts from growth mode to survival mode. In survival mode, the future you doesn't exist. Only the present you and the next hit of dopamine matter. This is why the get-rich-quick scams and high-risk moonshot crypto trades are so effective on people who are struggling. When you are drowning in decisions, rent, groceries, gas prices, childcare, you don't have the mental bandwidth for a 10-year behavioral finance strategy. You want the easy button. The gurus sell you the button, and you pay for it with the last of your capital. This is the invisible psychology of the poverty trap. The more choices you have to make just to survive today, the less likely you are to be free tomorrow. The elite understand this. They don't have more willpower than you. They just have fewer trivial choices to make. They have outsourced their decisions, so their battery is always full for the choices that generate millions. You, however, are being forced to spend your precious mental fuel on deciding between 50 types of cereal. In a moment, I'm going to give you the Architect's Protocol, the exact 4-step system to automate your life, so you never have to make a saving decision ever again. If you master this, you master the game. But first, let's talk about the decision avoidance monster. When your brain is tired, it doesn't just make bad choices. It makes the most expensive choice of all: inaction. In behavioral finance, we call this decision avoidance. You see that your bank account is messy. You know you need to look at your investment options. You know you need to negotiate your car insurance, but because your brain is exhausted, it says, "Not today, I'll do it tomorrow." But tomorrow never comes because tomorrow's battery will be just as depleted as today's. This is the silent killer of your net worth. The $50 a month you overpay on a subscription, the 2% higher interest you pay on a loan, the missed opportunity to move your money into a high-yield account. These are the inaction taxes. Over 10 years, this inaction tax adds up to $100,000 or more. You aren't losing money to the market. You are losing money to your own exhaustion. The rat race is designed to keep you in this state of decision paralysis. If you are too tired to fix your life, the system gets to keep the change. Wait, it gets worse. This fatigue makes you a passenger. You start letting others make choices for you. You let the bank choose your default interest rate. You let the algorithm choose what you buy. You let society choose your status symbols. You have officially become a volunteer for wage slavery. To break the fatigue, you must stop being the operator and start being the architect. You need to stop trying harder and start building better. Here is your 4-step surgery to reclaim your mental fuel. Step 1. Automate the mundane, the 1% rule. The wealthy don't decide to save money every month. They have automatic transfers that move their capital before they even see it. If you have to choose to save, you have already lost. Your battery will eventually fail and you will spend that money. Make your wealth building invisible and automatic. Step 2. The rule of 2. You only have enough chemical fuel for 2 high-impact decisions per day. Do them before 10 a.m. If you are trying to solve your debt problems at 9 p.m., you are gambling with a broken brain. Protect your morning battery like it's gold. Step 3. Kill the status noise. Wear the same style. Eat the same breakfast. This isn't about being boring. It's about being efficient. Every trivial choice you eliminate is a unit of energy saved for your escape plan. Stop wasting your 1% of fuel on what to eat for lunch. Step 4. The 24-hour cooling period. Never make a financial decision over $100 after 4 p.m. Your brain is a biological liar in the evening. It will tell you that you need that purchase to be happy. It is lying. Wait for the morning recharge. If you still want it at 8 a.m., then, and only then, is it a choice. When you reduce the noise, the fog finally clears. You transition from the passenger to the architect. You stop reacting to a world designed to drain you and start designing a world that serves you. Decision fatigue is the invisible wall between you and the $100,000 milestone. When you master your energy, the math becomes easy. You were never bad with money. You were just tired of being alive in a system that demands too many irrelevant choices. The cage door has been open the whole time. You just needed the mental energy to see the lock. But here is the final chilling reality. Even if you automate your life, even if you save every drop of your mental fuel, there is a massive gravitational force that will try to pull you back to zero. A force so powerful that it makes even the most energized people stay broke for decades. It is the law of financial physics that makes the very beginning of your journey feel like an impossible, soul-crushing war. You can have all the energy in the world, but if you don't understand why the first leg of the race is rigged against you, your rocket will never leave the ground. You've debugged your fatigue. Now it's time to face the monster that waits for every beginner. If you want to survive the launch, you need to understand why the first 100,000 is the hardest. Click right here to perform surgery on the gravity wall before it crushes your rocket. I'm Philly, and the real launch starts now. See you there.